Jose Monsalves was preparing to shoot at a herd of elephants in Namibia when one of them broke free and trampled him to death. Jose Monsalves was positioning himself to shoot at a herd of elephants when one of the creatures noticed the threats and began to charge. The 46-year-old Argentine hunter was trampled and killed on Saturday during a hunting expedition near Cackfield, Namibia, reports the Namibia press agency according to the Independent. Gonzalez, who worked for an oil company, had a hunting permit with him in private wildlife area and was accompanied by another Argentine and three Namibians at the time of his death. The incident comes just months after Finis Patha, a famous big game hunter, was killed by an elephant picking him up with his trunk and then falling on top of him. In another recent event, an entire elephant herd trampled one poacher and severely injured another in India. All that said, in both of the cases above, the hunters were not breaking any laws. Elephant hunting is in fact legal in some countries with significant restrictions to deter poachers. Many species of elephants are not currently classified as endangered, and some hunters even make the argument that the hunting industry helps raise the money for conservation efforts. Legal or not, if you don't want a giant and majestic creature to crush you to death with its 13,000-pound body, maybe don't try to murder it. In a separate incident, a group of elephants trampled one poacher and seriously injured another in India. Despite the legality of elephant hunting in some countries with strict regulations to prevent poaching, many elephant species are not currently considered endangered. A 10-year-old boy who had gone missing after a suspected crocodile attack was tragically found dead the following day with bite marks on his waist and his left leg. The body of Ibrahim Toledo was discovered by villagers at 6:41 a.m., approximately 700 meters away from where he was last seen. Lahadao Fire and Rescue Station Chief Shamsur Rashid confirmed that the body showed signs of being attacked by a crocodile and was handed over to the police for further investigation. It was reported that Ibrahim and his two friends were searching for shrimps under his house to use as fishing bait when they were unexpectedly attacked by a crocodile. Although Ibrahim initially managed to escape, the crocodile attacked him again and pulled him into the water, leading to his tragic outcome. An Indonesian man named Andre Lumbaga left seven dogs without food or water for 2 weeks while he went on vacation. When he returned, the starving dogs attacked and then killed him, then proceeded to eat his body. His death would have gone unnoticed if not for a vigilant neighborhood guard who noticed abandoned luggage outside the man's house and detected a strong odor coming from inside. The guard alerted the police, who discovered the man's skull in the kitchen and his body outside the house. The seven dogs responsible for the attack had also killed and eaten other two dogs during Lumbaga's absence. It is worth noting that Lumbagas hailed from Sulawesi, an Indonesian island known for including dogs in the local diet. A man named Michael kept a lion and a lioness in his backyard in the Czech Republic to breed them. The pets were kept in homemade cages. Local residents and authorities were worried about his unusual choice of pets, but no one wanted to intervene, possibly because they were afraid of wild animals. Michael was not allowed to build the cages for the animals and was fined for breeding them illegally. However, his disagreement with authorities came to a standstill when he refused to let anyone onto his property. Sadly, Michael was attacked and killed by a lion, which led authorities to shoot both wild animals. A 60-year-old retired former Zambian international footballer named Philemon Mwala had raised three puppies until they grew into adult dogs. He never expected that the dogs he cared for would turn on him, but unfortunately that's what happened. One day, on the day of tragic incident, Mwala's wife heard the dogs barking in the backyard but didn't investigate because they lived on a busy street and the dogs often barked at the people and vehicles passing by. When she couldn't find her husband in the house, she checked the backyard and found him lying still. To her shock, she discovered that her husband had been killed by three dogs they had raised. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals removed the three pet dogs from their house. The documentary Grizzly Man tells the story of Timothy Treadwell and Amy Huguenot, who were killed by grizzly bear in Alaska in 2003. Treadwell Timothy, a bear enthusiast, lived among grizzly bears in Alaska National Park for 13 summers before he and his girlfriend were tragically killed by a rogue bear. The film uses footage shot by Treadwell to explore the complex and risky relationship between humans and wild animals. Kelly and Walls had three unique pets: a Bengal tiger, an African lion, and a black bear. Despite keeping them in separate cages, she tragically lost her life when her black bear attacked and fatally injured her while she was cleaning its cage. After giving the bear some dog food, she turned her back on it, leading to a deadly attack. Neighbors saw what happened, called for help, but unfortunately it was too late to save Kelly and Walls from being mauled to death by her pet black bear. Pam Weaver received a pet camel from her husband as a gift for their 60th birthday. The family originally wanted to give her a llama or alpaca, but they were too costly. The 10-month-old camel, weighing about 115 kilograms, had a history of unpredictable behavior. It knocked Pam to ground and seemed to try to mate with her. It then lay on top of her, putting unbearable pressure on her until she suffocated and passed away. Pam's camel remained on top of her, straddling her until she ran out of oxygen and died. The tragic incident involves Ricky Winold and his bull. Ricky, who had a deep affection for his cattle, was spending some time with them as the calf was about to be born in his space bar in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, on the day before his 53rd birthday, he was attacked by his one-ton bull and tragically passed away from injuries sustained. Ricky was killed by his own pet. The tragic incident involving Sandra and her wolf dogs. Sandra had raised a pack of 9 wolf dogs and was deeply devoted to them, believing they gave her unconditional love, but unfortunately the situation took a tragic turn when she failed to show up for a meeting with her daughter. Her estranged husband discovered her body inside the cage of her wolf dogs, partially eaten. Sandra had bled to death after being clawed and bitten and was later dragged into the enclosure by her half wolf, half dog hybrid pets. Authorities found Sandra in this heartbreaking state. A man from Liverpool didn't come out of his house for a few days, which made people concerned. The police went to check on him and found him dead inside. His dog, Buster, a bull terrier, was very upset. At first, the police thought the dog was sad about his owner's death, but they later discovered that the dog had been eating the man's body for a few days. The bull terrier had been eating part of his owner's before the police arrived. A man from Germany, Mark Vogel, was found dead in his apartment with his acoustic pets out of their cages. His body was covered in spider webs, and some of his pets were eating his remains. There is no evidence to suggest that his black widow spider, Bettina, was caused his death by biting him. The exact cause of his death is still unknown. People often like to have ferrets as pets because they are cute and active. However, what many people don't realize is that ferrets have sharp teeth and a preference for meat. In one incident in Missouri, a family heard their baby crying and went to check on him. To their shock, they found the baby with 7 fingers bitten off by their pet ferret. The baby was taken to the hospital for treatment and the ferret was put down. In another tragic case, a couple found their newborn baby being attacked and eaten by their three pet ferrets in their living room.